It is Monday, the 18th of March, and we're back for another week of selling Lego online. And you may have seen from last week's vlog that I've had a weekend away. I had to finish last week's vlog early so that I could travel up north, see family, went to a family event and hung out with them for a little while. And then had to travel back early yesterday so that I could get back and get started on orders. So let's have a look at what we got coming in over the weekend to see what I've had to pick. So we've got on Bricklink 17 orders and one still to be invoiced. Now those equate to 331 items, or lots rather, and 1974 items to be picked. You can see that I've already been busy picking some of those last night. Still not got them packed yet, so I'll be showing you those in a second. So 17 of those. And then on BrickOwl, and people often ask me about you know, what's the ratio of Bricklink to BrickOwl, and for me typically BrickOwl is about 40%, I'd say 35-40% of what goes out the door, but it's definitely lower this week or this weekend with just 5 orders. So 17 plus 1 to invoice on Bricklink, and also only 5 on BrickOwl. On BrickOwl, 29 lots, 113 items, couple of internationals in there as well. Then on eBay, we've got 7 on eBay to get out the door as well. So let's take a look as usual, and you'll see scattered around the room we've got orders all over the place at the moment. This is the first batch, still orders to pick, but this is the first batch that I need to get packed to make some space for the next batch. And let's take a look at what we got. So on eBay, we've got 3 of the collectible minifigs going out. We've got a goat herder, a what do they call this one? The dog groomer, and then the detective. We've got a Minecraft polybag going out. We've got a Scott Francis minifig going out on eBay, and I'd made the mistake of listing this in 2 places. So this was on eBay, and crazily you can see that this is sold internationally. So I've sold it for £6.49, but somebody's paying £26 for this because it's been sold internationally. eBay charging an incredible £18.72 to ship it. Now, even if that's going to the States or the other side of the world, that would be a fraction of that price if I was shipping it direct. And the reason I mentioned I'd made the mistake of listing it in 2 places is somebody also bought this on Bricklink, and I had to let them down on it. So that's how it goes. It's been sat there for literally probably a year on eBay and never moved, and then 2 different people buy it in the same, or try to buy it in the same weekend. The start of the Bricklink and BrickOwl orders, won't mention too much on the parts orders, but lots of white parts and plates going out there. Here we've got some bulk of these grill bricks. There's 300 of those going out, plus some plates, some light aqua, amongst other things going out, a few tiles and bits and pieces there. We've got a few parts going out, plus this bear. Now, I had listed this bear as having some you know, rubbing on the nose of the print, so do hope that the buyer noticed the comments there and that they're not disappointed with that. We'll see how that one goes. Then we've got a magenta cape and a few other bits and pieces going out, and we've got some torsos going out there. We've got a Sora poly bag on eBay, another Minecraft poly bag on eBay, and then more parts orders here. And then if we switch over to here, we've got this single part going out on this order, and then we've got some minifig parts. We've got Henry Jones Senior minifig from the Indiana Jones series. Then we've got a motorbike going out, and then the last three are just parts orders, and we've got a little set of legs going out in that one, and that's it for the first batch. So I'm going to get these packed up, ready for the post office, and we've got about another 4 orders to pick, which are larger lot counts. One of them's 95, so they're going to go out later today probably, but I also need to go and get that other order invoiced. I'm still picking orders, and I've got to this order, and I'm one short of this inverted 2x2 slope. But they're used, by the way. But one of the advantages of having all of the containers here of the various types means that I can always have a look through the tub that I've got on hand and see if I can find one of those particular parts. And I've just been able to, thankfully, do exactly that. So I've found one that I was short of, and this will go into this order, and that will complete it. So really satisfying to do that, rather than have to go back to the customer and say you're sorry and that you can't fulfill the entire order and have to refund. So that saves the refund, saves the fees from your PayPal on the refund, and keeps the customer happy. So you know, it's one of the pluses about used, and the fact that, you know, you've got them categorized already and can have a quick look through and see if you can find one. Well, it's ended up being another busy day for picking. Some larger orders here, some 95 lots, 60 something, 50 something, another 50, another 20. So you know, it's taken a little while to get some of these done. All just you know, numerous parts orders, to be honest. Lots of different elements going out. You know, regular parts. We've got some slightly more you know, unusual things going in there. We've got a Dreams Cooper going out on eBay. The order came in this morning. This is one of the orders that there's 50 something lots, everything in a reasonable quantity, 10, 20, etc. And that's from another Bricklink seller. So thanks very much for that order. And then we've got another little order going out here. Lots of trans parts going out. Trans orange, neon orange, some of these flamed parts. We've got a James Bond minifigure going out, as well as a castle skeleton. And then lots of black and dark blue parts. So intrigued to know what they're doing with those, although these may be a giveaway, which are the tires that go with typically the Speed Champion size vehicles. And then an order here for lots of plates and lots of black and some lime green, some Technic stuff in there as well. So I'll get these out. These are going to be dropped in the drop box when I go and pick my granddaughter up this afternoon, and that'll be it for today. And any other orders that come in now are going to end up going out in the morning. Here's an example of something that drives me a little crazy, is that I had a case opened against this particular minifigure, which Royal Mail have failed to deliver. I've checked with Royal Mail last week, and it's stuck in one of their distribution centres, and the person on eBay had understandably raised a claim because it hadn't been delivered, and now eBay have found in favour of the customer and have refunded them the £6.99 for this minifigure. Now, why am I frustrated by it? I'm frustrated because if you try and make a claim from Royal Mail at the moment, this is what I'm getting. Now, this was posted on the 4th of March. It's now the 18th of March, and they're telling me that I'm claiming too soon. Now, this is for a second class postage, which should be with the customer within 2 to 3 days. So it should have been with them on the latest on Thursday, the 7th of March. It's now close to 2 weeks later. It'll be 2 weeks on this Thursday, and I can't even raise the case. The other thing that drives me crazy about Royal Mail, and we all like a good moan as sellers about Royal Mail, but that they want us to be putting in here the cost price of the item, not the price we've sold it for. Now, they've lost us effectively, you know, £6.99, but they don't want to know about the value that you've sold it for. They want to pay you back less that. Now, I've put in an amount here that with the postage cost would balance out to be my £6.99. I doubt whether they'll accept it, but we'll see. And, you know, I have a lot of chats with sellers, and I often say that I don't claim from Royal Mail at all for things that go lost. And this is exactly why. It's just really not worth the time, the hassle, and, you know, the stress of trying to claim. I think for the rare occasion that you do lose something like this, it's probably just as well to take the hit. I did this time think, well, I might as well be claiming from Royal Mail, and I'm going to have to wait at least another couple of days and go through the whole process again. I don't know why they can't tell you earlier in the process, rather than wait until you've filled in 3 screens of data before you get to the end, and then they tell you that you can't actually claim yet. There's no way of saving the form. You've just got to come out, abandon what you've been doing, and come back a couple of days later and do it all again. Very poor from Royal Mail. Well, after Monday's rush, it's a pretty quiet Tuesday morning. Just 4 orders going out this morning, and all on Bricklink. BrickOwl seems to have just fallen off a cliff. The number of active carts in the store are as low as they ever are, which is about 18 or so active carts. Not always an indication that they'll turn into orders, of course, but you know, in recent weeks they've been much higher than that, and have obviously resulted in orders. So on Bricklink, we've got a parts order here for predominantly lots of black and dark blue parts, and then we've got some small orders for a single head. We've got this dark azure torso. This is sold for £4.95, going off to the States as well, so they'll be paying another £4.50 shipping for that. So it's going to cost them about £10 to get that torso. And then I had an inquiry yesterday about these slopes, asking if they were genuinely the old light yellow colour, to which I replied they are. But the confusion is that they don't appear to have ever been in any set. So it's a bit puzzling where they've come from. Now, there are other sellers that do have these for sale though, so where exactly they've all come from. I think there is a printed part that comes in this light yellow, so whether at some point there was a sticker rather than a print, and the sticker was put on the part, or whether they were just missed in printing or something, no idea. But they seem to be genuinely the old light yellow as far as I can ascertain, so they've been sold. And I'm just going to get these packed up then, and obviously we'll have to get to the post office shortly. We've still got sets to part out, so we may get to that this morning, but I've got a call this morning for an hour or two. We'll see how that goes, and then we can get back to some of this stuff and try and get some more stuff added to the store. Just completed a small part out, just 3 sets of the fox sludge, and about 597 items. It was a really quick part out actually, only 2 bags in there, though there were some smaller bags inside those, of course, but really quick part out. 85 lots for about £62. Haven't actually uploaded it yet, so I'm just gonna upload it now. Let's have a quick look, just get the focus onto the screen, upload, and we'll just paste it into here, hit verify file, and all I'm looking for, to be honest, is at the bottom that I've got the same number of items, etc., and the same price. Upload, and then I'm going to send out my wanted list notifications, and if I have a quick look here, that's going to tell me exactly what I've got. So I've got 31 lots that are new going out. I can verify that by going into the store. Let's go and have a look at what my item count is now, and then I'll go and add that over into my upload log. So we've got 702,467, and then the lot count has gone up to 13,481, which gives us an actual 30 difference. I think the extra one came for an item that I'd added manually onto Bricklink, I think. Now on to the next job for the day, which will be to get some more used stuff added to the store. I think I've got lots of bits and pieces that need adding. I've got a little pot of odd things here, so I'm going to try and get some of this stuff added out of the way while I've got an hour to kill before I go and get the grandkids. My meeting for this morning was moved, so that's going to be in the next hour, so later this afternoon. I'll have a call for an hour or two, and I'll see what I can get uploaded. In the meantime, we've got I don't really want to tackle these being sort of small bags. I'd rather combine them with other larger bags, but I'll see what I can pull out rather than tackling these kind of things, which I'm letting mount up. I'll work through these. One of the things that I do need to work through, one of the categories I've got, is the what I kind of call these modified bricks of various types that don't really fit easily into other categories, which does include these sort of curved slopes for whatever reason. It doesn't really matter when you're sorting out categories like this, as long as you're consistent in where you put the things. That's all that really matters. You can make the categories what you want them to be. A lot of people, I think, just mix all the plates together, whether they are 1-bys and 2-bys. They just put them all in the same tub. Some people equally will put bricks in, 1-bys and 2-by bricks. I like to sort them as I'm sorting as I go, because it just filters it down that little bit more as you do it. So I find that more useful. Anyway, I'm going to crack on and see what I can get added in the next hour. I'm in the middle of going through some printed and, you know, sort of one-off parts and adding them to a Brickstore file, and came across this little dish, which I just put under my camera to identify what it was, and it's come up with this, which looks accurate, and if it is, that's worth about £7 to £10, well, £8 to £10 even. So that's a nice little bit of gold found amongst the bulk.
this is just a bag of odds and ends of printed things and unusual parts that I'd put to one side to add to the rest of the printed things that I have. But because I'm just trying to fill some time, and I just grabbed a bag, started working through them, and found this little gem. So if that's there and come out of the bulk, I'm hoping there are other things with it. I know that there were, I think in some instances, 4 and sometimes 10 of these in some sets. So if I can find those, even find another 3, I'd be thrilled. But we'll see whether they ever turn up. Wednesday morning, and a quick look at today's orders going out. On Bricklink, we've got some minifig base plates and some minifig parts. We've got a white classic space guy going out. We've got some dark brown arches, and some black bricks and some minifig items. Nice to see these going. This is 100 of these 1x2 bricks with the cat face on. Got tons of those. Got a poly bag going out, Star Wars Starfighter, and this little grab going out as well. And then a small parts order there, and then somebody's whitening out of these dark blue grey tracks. So we're going to get those packed away, and then probably do a bit more parting out, another small part out. I think I've got, I'm probably not going to do the Star Wars stuff just yet. I'm going to keep leaving them, not desperate for the figs, etc. We've got 3 of these to part out. We'll probably do them. Get them done, get them into the store, and see what else we can do. I've got some other work to do on another little project, which will take a little bit of time, but we'll see what we can get done. I'm in the middle of parting out another set, and in this case I've broken out the minifigs, and there are a number of minifig parts that don't have a location currently where they need to go. And what I tend to do is I tend to keep these kind of organisers for minifigs and similar sort of small parts. And what that means is I can just pull these out and look for any empty spaces in these and populate those. What it also means, or what I tend to do, is I'll double up on a location where there's only, you know, one item in there. And for instance, I might mix, what have we got in there? We've got a green helmet. I might mix in blue legs with those because they contrast and are easy to identify, and utilizes the space a little bit better than just having one lot, one location, etc. So in my file, I'll just add that location. In this case, it's SBL. And that is in 12. I'm familiar with these, so I know, for instance, that I start at 1 here and I go across in this way over to 25. Now, I used to label on the top of these above each drawer what the location was, but with experience and as I've added more of them, I just know exactly what the location is, so I don't feel the need to label them on the lid in the same way. It's very clear to me. If I want section 12, it's fine. If I want 20, it's here, 25, etc. So real easy, and it makes them easy to put away when you've got one container like this, instead of going and just finding one drawer like this with an empty location and putting them in there, then having to go and find another drawer with space, etc. I just find this a lot easier. It's Thursday morning and I've got a little bit of a mess going on. We had the grandkids here yesterday afternoon after school, and we got a little bit of a mess going on because they decided they wanted to help Grandad and sort some Legos. So they've sorted some 2x bricks into pots there. This is what the start of them sorting out the 1x bricks. And to put some context into this, they're 5 and 6 years old, so you know they're not super old and super familiar with all of the parts.
And then this is what they were doing with 2x plates. So I need to finish up what they were doing and just tidy up a little bit before I can get started with picking orders, because we've got a few orders to pick this morning. We've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 on the go at the moment. A couple have been picked where they just order items, but we'll get the rest of them done and we'll show you what they are a little later. Right, it's time to get orders packed up for the post. This is Thursday afternoon, and we need to get these orders off into the mail. First order going out is a couple of parts going off to Norway, and surprisingly I've had quite a few orders from Norway of late. I don't know why, whether it's coincidence, whether, you know, potentially something's been shared on some Norwegian platform about, you know, reliable sellers, anything like that. But I've noticed that I've had a few orders of late going to Norway in particular. Next up, we've got another order going out, and in this case, this customer ordered some of these 1x4 log bricks, and I had to contact him because I was actually short of the bricks. And he just messaged me back and said, can you replace them with something similar? So luckily enough, I had some 1x2s, so I've given him an equivalent of 1x2 log bricks that would have made up the missing 1x4s, and he was fine with that. Next up, we got an order going out on BrickOwl for a couple of Ninjago manuals and a bunch of other parts. This little Nixels set is going off to the United States. And then we're into more sort of parts orders. We've got a Ninjago tin going off on eBay. We've got a bunch of items going off to Ireland, including a couple of minifigs, some base plates, and quite a lot of these motorbike wheels and helmets in all kinds of colours. Then Bricklink, we've got this Hero Factory weapon belt going out, and then more generic kind of parts orders. Nothing too much to say about these. This one just came in, was actually the largest lot count of the day at about 65 lots. But not huge in value, about £12 worth. And then we've got a Neville Longbottom figure going out on eBay. So we'll get those lot packed up, get them off to the post office, and see if we've got any time left in the remainder of the day to do anything else. It's Friday the 22nd of March. And can you believe not a single order on Bricklink or BrickOwl today? I got this single solitary order going out on eBay, which is a Star-Lord minifigure going out at $6.25. So that's not going to pay the rent. Not sure why it's been so quiet, although to be fair, Thursday evenings are my late post run, so everything that came in yesterday was picked, packed and posted out at about 5 o'clock yesterday evening. So we've had no orders from 5 o'clock yesterday evening, nothing through the evening, nothing early morning either. So we'll wait and see what comes in for the weekend. So what am I going to do? Well, I've got a couple of things that have been kind of putting off for a long time. So I just want to check through these couple of things. I've got a drawer here with a few sets that I've stumbled across as I've, been working through various sets and sort of trying to decide whether they should be sold as sets, probably on eBay, or whether to break them down. So we've got things like, we've got this little holiday train. We've got some Speed Champions cars that I need to sort of see if they're complete. More Speed Champions cars there that I know are missing just 1 or 2 parts, so I need to organise getting them. We've got a set there which has got some minifigs in, so I need to decide whether that's worth selling as a set. We've got a few Nexonite sets there, a little superhero set, and then we've got another box here of Ninjago stuff that I need to go through. More speed champions. We've got, yeah, there's another speed champions set, which, you know, I need to check. Really need to check A, what is the value, and B, you know, whether they're, what the part out would be on them, etc. But I don't really want to faff about parting these used sets out, so they're probably just going to end up getting sold on eBay. We've got another little set there. Not sure if the figures are with that though. We've got this little castle set, but I noticed that a few parts on this are a little yellowed, so I need to check through that. Maybe it's just a case of sorting through and checking some of the yellowed parts. We've got more stuff here, some kind of Hero Factory figure or something, and then more and more sets in here. I mean, I don't know if that's complete or not, but that is another superhero set. Looks like the stickers are even in there, so a lot to do. I'm not sure I want to check through and check all of the parts there for that. Another superhero set there as well, so lots to do. I've also got a tub over here that's sort of ongoing with a few more speed champions cars there that need checking over, checking to see whether you know, again, whether there's any value in them and whether they're worth ordering the spare parts that I'll be missing from them. So I'm going to spend an hour or two sorting through these, and if there is any worth listing, we'll probably get them on eBay, get some pictures taken, get them listed, and try and move some of those. I've just added another upload to the store. Not a great amount. In fact, it only took us up to 702,435 in 13,571 lots. Added a few new minifigs as well to the store. And interestingly, also noticed that we've hit over, if it'll focus, over 4,000 feedback now. Oh, not focusing. Just over 4,000 feedback. 4,005 and 459 fans is nice. And the orders are creeping up. It's, you know, ticking over, shall we say. It's been a really quiet day today. Just 3 orders going out. I didn't even bother showing the BrickOwl order that came in. It was so small, and got a couple of eBay orders in, so literally sort of 3 orders going out the door today. Funnily enough though, I did have a chat with another seller, and a big seller, bigger store than mine, and they had next to nothing in the last 2 days, so quiet for a few of us out there at the moment.